coming to trends, right? Firstly, how important is it to follow trends in terms of not only that subject matter, but also the songs to use for it and the audio to use for it? Like, does that really practically help growth?
I know of people who've also only stuck to original content and still grown. I am a big fan of original content, which is where like you're just facing the camera, speaking. There's no trending music. And some people who only rely on trending audios and lip syncs or any trending formats to grow. But if you want to chase what the algorithm prioritizes, trends, of course, help in that case. But if you're someone who's okay with slow growth, original content is the way to go. I'm a person who's a fan of giving both things equal importance and not keeping both of them at a pedestal. Because I feel when I want to make videos and make a content plan, the ease of creating content needs to suit me first. And then it needs to please the algorithm. Because if the algorithm wants me to create 7 reels in a week and that is the set in stone formula to grow, I'll be like, great, but I can't do that. I have a house to maintain. I have lots of sleep to catch on. I love sleeping for 8 hours. Same. And I'm not changing that. And there are some days I just don't have it in me to record a video. So 3 to 4 reels a week is where my sweet spot is at. Even if it's lesser than what the suggested amount is, it needs to suit me first because I need to be able to sustain that for a longer period of time to see results. If I can sustain 7, great, but I can't. So being realistic about that really, really helps. I'm so sorry I lost the original question. The original question was how important are trends to follow? Yeah, when I'm creating my content plan, I try to make sure in those 3 to 4 things, 50% is original face to cam, 50% is trends. Because they're easy, they get done in like 20 minutes. When I started, so my Instagram stagnated for a very long time. I think I was at about 14, 16k followers for quite a while. And I think last September, I was like, you know what, I need to do something. It's time to focus on this. And I was like, no, man, I can't do reels. And at one point, I was like, no, you know what, you have to do reels. And then I was like, okay, we won't dance at least. We won't do dancing trends. So that was the compromise I had to make with myself, saying that, okay, we'll do reels, but we won't dance on camera. And I think the reels definitely helped in my case. Like if I look at the creator account, they're literally telling you songs of the week or trends of the week and all, right? And to me, that somewhere is the disheartening thing, or maybe I'm seeing this the wrong way, but to me, it's like that's promoting like a cookie cutter factory content production thing that here's the song, use this, you might get better results. Like, I know exactly where you're coming from because as a consumer, I feel bombarded with those like, your friends are using this filter, why don't you use this filter? Your friends are using this song, why don't you make a song? Why don't you make a reel out of your highlight? I don't want to. But to think from the perspective of the product engineers sitting at Instagram, now this is what I learned at my time when like I was contracted with YouTube. I was there as a temporary vendor for like 1.5 years and helping them with their social media editorial. And YouTube Shorts had just come into India. So when we used to look at the product updates for YouTube Shorts, I was trying to understand that as a consumer, but also being behind the product, it made me realize for any short form video onboarding app or company, their main goal is onboarding people and making the process of creation as easy as possible. So when we as consumers feel like we are being given a little too many cookie cutters, the product engineers are actually happy because there are so many beginners, especially in India. India probably gives them the maximum business in terms of ads for the number of people who are joining Instagram every day in our country. So to get that hand-holded guidance, and also Instagram has a fantastic video editing UI. So to make that process so easy for beginners and making it beginner friendly is exactly their aim for giving so many, use this template, use this song. If you see an upwards arrow, that's your sign to create then and there. So they're literally shaping. What's this upward arrow? The upward arrow on a certain audio indicates that it's trending. Okay. Right? So they're basically teaching people how to navigate so that their process of creation is as easy as possible. For us as seasoned consumers, as I like to think, the truth doesn't go away from the fact that it's annoying.
It is annoying. Tell me basic things people can do to generally improve their reach.
I would say it begins with a certain kind of discipline. At the risk of sounding like a motivational speaker, unfortunately and fortunately, it boils down to the simple act of just posting something, even if it's not a 10 on 10 always. It doesn't have to be the highest quality production that you need to spend hours editing. Sometimes if you've just made a tiny observation because of a squirrel outside your window, a raw, unfiltered, in the moment, on the spot video has higher chances of doing well than something that is heavily manicured. What I like to say is the audience has a very good bullshit radar. They know when you're being a little inauthentic. And I feel as a creator, it's very, very easy to amass a following. But when that following holds you accountable, you better answer back. You better take that feedback into consideration, because you're literally using the biggest currency we have right now, which is attention. They're giving you your time. You better make it worthwhile. And if you're giving them lies, or if you're giving them something inauthentic, you'll get called out.
Yeah.
Their bullshit radar is strong. They'll tell you, okay, you're bullshitting. I'm going to unfollow, scroll, swipe, block, delete, mute, whatever. But yes, starts with planning, starts with knowing at least what are some of the 3-4 defined things I will talk about on my profile. Of course, in marketing terms, in any social media manager would know this, is a content pillar, right? And those content pillars or content themes need to be figured out, because that makes the biggest part of your strategy. At the end of the day, if you can't tie it back to a North Star, if I have a page on, let's say, my love for coffee, I can't make a detailed post on, look, I got my braces off today, right? Even though how badly I want to share it with the world, I can't. Maybe I can take it to the stories, whatever it might be. There are ways to humanize your content on the feed by keeping it relevant to the 3-4 things you decide to talk about. Secondly, a lot of people think planning for 30 days is a great thing. I think you're shooting yourself in the foot if you're planning for 30 days, because it doesn't leave you any room for intuitive content creation. Planning for 30 days is too much. Just a week is okay. Because in that week, if a certain trend resurfaces or surfaces for the first time, you should have the flexibility to immediately be okay, let me shoot this today and put it out tomorrow. Because a lot of it is, okay, you've seen this now and you immediately act on it. It's how quickly you're able to contribute to a trend. So only planning for a week is fine. You don't need to go the extra mile. It's in fact going to cause you more harm. If you set things in stone from till date to the 30th of November, you're going to miss out on so many trends, right? And lastly, as I said, work with a cadence, work with a frequency that suits you first. A lot of us have, a lot of people who even come to the boot camp have kids. They have tiffins to pack in the morning. They have houses to maintain. They have in-laws to please. They have jobs. They have PhDs going on. Nobody has 12 hours available to themselves in a day to just focus on content creation.
Yeah.
So expecting results like that of a full-time content creator is also unfair.
Is it helpful to post every day?
It is. It is. I'm sure you know of this creator called the Mermaid Scales.
No.
She's this girl from India. She hasn't disclosed her location, but she rose to fame when TikTok was still in India. Used to make really funny, trending lip sync reels. And she has still sustained that wave. And I was very curious to know how she's still so big on TikTok. She's extremely big on Instagram right now, especially with the 13 to 18 years age group, which is exactly what these social media companies, this is the exact age group they want to target. Okay, I think 18 to 24, 24 to 30 currently is out of business. They're on autopilot. I might be assuming here. But this girl, she posts 4 reels in a day.
Wow.
Which means she's bulk creating. You can gauge that from the outfits. And secondly, like the observation that I made from her account made me realize if she's posting 4 reels in a day, I have only seen 2 of those on my feed. Which means like some of her other followers might have seen 3 of them, might have seen only 1 of them, or might have seen only the second and the fourth. The thing is, the more you post, the more you're giving your audience the chances to interact with you. In a way, quantity is better than quality on Instagram in a lot of ways. But it's unfortunately a very saturated space right now. Quality will have to trump it, and creation speeds will be slower. They can only rise up if you get a team. So
Team?
Yeah, a team. A lot of us are social media teams of one, right?
Yeah.
Doing it all alone. And like it has also come to me after a very long time. It's an ongoing process still. But I have to cut myself slack that I'm not able to create as fast as I consume. Because in a day, I look at maybe 50 content creators who've made 50 new reels, and I'm like, I just scrolled for 4 hours today. I didn't do anything. Then I have to constantly remind myself, it takes hours to make one video.
What's the screen time on Instagram? I'm embarrassed to even say mine. I looked it up earlier. Cannot.
No, it would be bad. I've been scrolling a lot lately. How to go? Oh yeah, your activity. Oh, how much is yours?
I'm not going to say. I'm not saying mine.
Okay. I have a 3 hour and 18 minute average. 7, 6, 9 hours. How much is it?
That is amazing. Mine is terrible.
I've started scheduling my posts, so that really helps.
Where is my... Mine is quite terrible, actually. Oh no, mine is daily average is 3 hours 50 minutes.
No way.
It's terrible.
No way.
I told you it's terrible. But I do think Instagram's a better messaging app than WhatsApp.
Oh, 100%.
I will not respond to anyone on WhatsApp. You message me on Instagram. Done.
I have another comparison to make. How many 100 chats do you have?
On WhatsApp? You can't trump me on that.
Okay, I asked you first, so you tell me.
569 as of now.
Okay, never mind.
You?
I have 117.
Oh, that's amateur, man. 569.
Damn.
Just because you message me on WhatsApp doesn't mean I'm liable to open that message and read.
Yeah.
Having said that, my bio on my that status is, please email, please.